Hey everybody, it's PJ. So, puppies are outside this morning. Normally I don't bring them outside till later on in the day, but it's just so gorgeous. It's got to be just coming up on 70 degrees. There is no humidity. It's just beautiful out here. So I brought the puppies out this morning. They've got their tables for shade. That gives them some shade in their spot. And they have had their breakfast already. They've already had raw goat milk. They've already had raw grass-fed ground beef. They've had some puppy food kibble, and now they are eating raw short ribs, beef short ribs. So normally the puppies are trying to get out to the dogs, but the puppies are quite content with their ribs, and the dogs are like, "Where's my rib? Why can't I have a rib?" So for those of you just joining us and are new, this is the goat milk stuff farm. We're a dairy goat farm. I don't see any goats out. They're usually out here in the evening on that hillside. We just took that hillside is empty because it was full of dead ash and dying poplars, and we just cut them down, which broke my heart to do, but they were becoming a danger to the goats. So I don't see any goats out there right now. But we raise dairy goats, and we have Great Pyrenees to guard the farm, or to guard the goats, and we have Bernese Mountain Dogs to be general farm dogs. I keep saying I'm going to teach my Bernese to pull apart, but I haven't done that yet. And these puppies are a cross between the Great Pyrenees mom, who is not that one. That's Thor. That's our neutered male. I don't see Lacey around. Lacey's their mom. She's somewhere around here. And so Lacey's their mom. She's a Great Pyrenees. And Castle, this is Castle here, is their sire. He's a Bernese Mountain Dog. The dogs pretty much have free run of the farm. So Lacey has mostly weaned these guys. She still lets them nurse a little bit. But they're mostly weaned. They've been having other stuff for quite a while now. Get out of the wood pile, Thor. That's not a good place for you. Hey. So if you see Thor limp, he's fine. He broke his leg a couple years ago, and so he has a slight limp. So no worries about him. He's doing real well. Are those good bones, puppies? Are those good bones? There are more bones in there than there are puppies, so they have no need to fight over them. But you know, they're puppies. Somebody else's bone is always better. It's always better than their bone. So they're just gonna chill out here for a while. Chew their bones. So it's funny when we let them out of where they're Beckett, you can't have that. So Beckett is when I give her a raw bone, I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. She swallows, like she just chews and swallows, and it's gone in under a minute. Like it's scary fast. So that over there is Lacey on the right. That's their mom. She's Great Pyrenees. She wants their bones too. You can't have their bones either. Those are little short ribs for your puppies. You want this? She's like, why would I want that when you have ribs? Why would I want that when you have ribs? So we are always having to try and feed our peers extra. Some people have peers that are just, they get huge, they get stocky. Our peers work so hard and are so much more interested in guarding the goats that we always have, we're always trying to feed them extra food to keep weight on them, because they tend to be much skinnier than we would like. So they get raw eggs, we feed them other raw food as well, in addition to kibble. But it's always a challenge getting them extra food and keeping it away from you, Miss Chunky. Yes, because you like to eat. Castle's like perfect. Castle, I like the weight on Castle. Don't ya? Sure you don't want that? You know it's not like beef or anything. No, I know you want it. You can't have it. So the dogs have free run in the farm, guarding the farm. We just finally finished our perimeter fencing. We still have more work to do on it, but it's in place for now. All right, let me. Everybody say morning, morning. Oh dear, Tanya says, I have a question for you. How long does your it says husband sanitizer, but I'm pretty sure she means hand sanitizer last for. I have 3 bottles. Just keep them in the refrigerator, Tanya. Keep them in the refrigerator, and there's no reason to think they'll go bad. There's, alcohol, if anything, if you're constantly like opening it or using it, you might add a touch more alcohol, but it's a spray bottle, and one of the reasons we designed it that way is so the alcohol doesn't evaporate. So it should be fine. Just keep it in the fridge. For those of you who are not familiar, we have our main website is goatmilkstuff.com. We sell goat milk soaps and lotion, deodorant, and laundry soap and lip balm. And we'd made hand sanitizer for years, and it never really sold. And so we actually discontinued it in January, and then the pandemic hit, and everybody asked for it back. So so we brought it back. So that's what she was asking about. Good morning. Cheryl says, enjoying your journey with raising puppies, been very educational, entertaining. Is the room you have the whelping box upstairs in the barn in your house? That's the barn. That is the barn. So these puppies are all going to pet homes. None of these are going to farm homes. But we would be introducing them to the goats through fencing if they were going to farm homes. I'm not, people always, are you going to introduce them? In fact, what I haven't done, I've been meaning to do, is get a cat out here. None of our cats have been around. I got to introduce the puppies. We have cats, and usually the cats come over, and it's usually no problem for the cats to be by the dogs, but they've not been by. I have to go find one. And usually I'm more worried about you always have to be careful with puppies around goats, obviously, because they like to chase, they like to bite. But normally I'm more worried about the goats injuring the puppies than I am about the puppies injuring the goats. So, Elizabeth says, any reason why you're feeding Bones so early? I don't consider it so early, so I don't know how to answer that. They're dogs. If they're interested, I don't consider that too early. It's healthy for them. This is how we work on when it's time to crate train, which we'll be doing. We're supposed to do this week, but not crate train, but get the crate in there. We're actually redesigning the whole pen. We got everything ordered yesterday, and so that's how you get puppies working on self-soothing. Is with giving them something that they love to chew on, and Bones are a really good way to do that. So I don't consider it too early. You don't, they're not particularly. These are short ribs. You want to make sure that there's not something that they could break off and swallow. But quite honestly, it's less of a danger at a young age than it is at an older age. So they're good for them. So yeah. Sue says, are you keeping them all? No, I really wanted to keep one, but I am not. This is not the best timing for me to keep a puppy, and so I agreed with my husband that I would put them all up for sale, and if they all sold, then I wouldn't keep one, and if they didn't all sell, then I would keep one. So that's how, and they all sold, so. So as you can see, the puppies have learned to use their front paws to hold their bones. Now one of the things we'll start, again, probably next week, is taking them away and putting them back. I showed people the other day how I could take them away, and it didn't bother them at all. But that'll keep working on it. How many goats do you have? So we have a bunch of goats for sale right now. If you know anybody who's looking for goats, we have a bunch of goats for sale. With the pandemic, we don't need as much milk as we've been getting. We have both an online business where we sell all our soaps and stuff online, and then we have the on-farm sales where people come and visit and buy stuff on farm. And because the farm has been closed with the pandemic, we don't need as much milk. So I have a bunch of goats up for sale. I would probably say right now there's probably over 200 goats on the farm. We have a bunch of Nigerian, I shouldn't say a bunch to me is larger, but we have, I believe it's 6 Nigerian dwarf goats that were bred for July. So we should be having baby goats in July. If any of you guys are interested in that, we have a program for what we call patrons. We use the website Patreon, which is patreon.com/goatmilkstuff, all one word, so patreon.com/goatmilkstuff. And you can become a patron, and that gets you access to cameras, live cameras in the barn where you can watch the pregnant moms, and then you can see the goat births if we Facebook Live them. We try to Facebook Live sometimes they go in the middle of the night and we miss them, but those are available on the patron cameras. Brett listed the link to the hand sanitizers. Melissa says, when mamas are ready to wean, it's always good to introduce them to food. I actually kind of disagree with that, Melinda. I think it's much more important to introduce them to food before mom is ready to wean. Weaning with the mom is a process, and some moms it's a very slow process, and some moms it's a very quick process, and you don't know which way the mom's going to go, because sometimes she can change, especially if she were to get mastitis. Lacey never got mastitis, thankfully, but especially if they get mastitis, then it can be very quick. And so I think it's very important to introduce food before they're being weaned. So we start them with raw goat milk, plain raw goat milk. I think, if I remember correctly, they started on day 17 with raw goat milk, and then once they're drinking that well, we add raw grass-fed ground beef to it, and they eat that. And then after they're doing that well, we do introduce the kibble. A lot of people will, instead of doing the ground beef, they'll do a grain like rice, or rice flakes or powder or stuff like that. We don't introduce grain to them when they're that young. We wait until they're closer to 5 weeks and introduce the kibble. Then when they're chewing well, we put the kibble in the goat milk for a little while, for a couple days, so it's softer, so they can get used to it that way. And then we pretty quickly go straight to, especially at this age, they don't really have any trouble with the kibble. Monica once ate the kibble and then vomited it. She's the only one who's done anything like that, and it was just the one time. So I don't know if she just went down the wrong way, or I don't know what she did. So, but yeah, I mean, you need to be prepared. That you can't. I mean, you could, I suppose, but you're not going to make mom who wants to wean, force her to keep feeding her puppies. And so you need to be prepared for that, because the puppies need to make sure they're still getting enough nutrition and growing properly. Renee says, so we should keep hand sanitizer in the refrigerator. If you're not regularly using it, that's where I would keep it. That's what I would do if I wasn't regularly using it. We don't keep the ones we're using in the refrigerator, if that makes sense. But she said she had 3 bottles. She was worried about how long the hand sanitizer would last, so keeping it in the fridge is the best place if you're worried about it lasting. But it's not mandatory. Sunshine says, I was wanting to know if the deodorant is just for men or also for women. Oh, hello. Oh, that's fun. Thor and Castle. Okay, well that's new behavior. Apparently, having the bones that close was a little too... Did that scare you, puppies? It scared me. It scared me too. Meanwhile, Joey's just like, I'm not scared. I'm going to keep eating my bone. I'm going to move that bone. You can't come out, puppies. I'm going to move that bone so it's not the temptation that apparently it was. No. Stay. I really like this cage for the puppies, but it is not easy to lock yourself in. Now I'm gonna have raw meat hands. Guys, don't fight over the bones. We have plenty of food. I gotta go wash my hands. Be nice, you two. You can't have those bones, they're not yours. Okay, note to self. Puppy bones are more of a temptation to the adult dogs than I thought. Up till now, they've always gotten their puppy bones inside, but I just thought it was such a beautiful day out that we would do it outside today. Anyway, no, the deodorant is for women too. I use the deodorant. I use the citrus tea one. That's the one that I like best. Let me think now. The pink sugary, the OMH, the nautical are fragrance oils, and the others are essential oils. So if you have at all sensitive skin, I always recommend going with the essential oil first. We have the deodorant samples, okay? So the deodorant samples are a great idea to see what you think about the... You guys can, let go. Go play. Thor is neutered. Castle is obviously not. So those are a really good idea. We have both the baking soda and the non-baking soda formulas. Most people are not actually allergic to baking soda, but some people feel like they want to be safe. There is no aluminum in baking soda. That's a fallacy. There can be aluminum in baking powder, but not in baking soda. So you do not have to worry about aluminum that in baking soda. There isn't any. Now you guys being nice. But yes, no, it's for women too. I use it. Jessica says, I've been watching your lives for some time. Where are you located? We are in Scottsburg, Indiana, which is in southeast Indiana, which is about half an hour north of Louisville, Kentucky. Our farm actually backs up to Highway 65. So we're a mile off the exit, which is really nice. Diane says, this is so much fun watching them grow and how you're doing so much to help them get ready for their forever homes, teaching manners, helping them develop as healthy, well-rounded dogs. Aw, I love all you're doing. Thank you. Thank you. We work hard. We work hard to do everything to the best of our ability. It's always a learning and growing process. There's always more to learn. Hi, baby. Hi, Beckett. Always more to learn, always ways to improve, but we work hard to do what we can. Did you guys finish that water? I'll get you more water. You want more water first? Alright, I'll get you more water in a minute. There's water, just so you know, everywhere on the farm. We have automatic waterers the dogs can go. So if they're thirsty, they know exactly where to go. They're getting ready for naps. They're still working on their bones. Did their mother die? No, their mother didn't die. Why would you think their mother died? Dogs, adult, this is their mom right here. Right, Lacey? Adult dogs usually start weaning their puppies between 2 and 4 weeks. And so it's a big, I don't know why people think that the puppies just eat their mom's milk for as long as they do. It's not true at all. They start food pretty early, and then mom only spends so much time with them because otherwise they just want to nurse nonstop, which isn't easy. So again, if you're just joining us, Karen says, what breed are these puppies? These are a cross between the Great Pyrenees and the Bernese Mountain Dog. Where do you think you're going? Huh? Where are you going? Monica wants out. Patricia says, no, that was awful to say, cruel. I don't know what was awful to say and what was cruel. Patricia, you're going to have to clarify that. What was the weight of the puppies yesterday? I don't know. I know Joey's over 11 pounds and Phoebe's coming up on 11 pounds if she hasn't passed as well. Sunshine says, how do you get the samples? So there's samples for the deodorant are $1 each. They're on the website. Go to goatmilkstuff.com and then click on the deodorants and they're there. And Kathleen says they're precious. So once they decide to take a nap, I'm going to go in and get those bones out of there. Which I would have done anyway, but now that the adult dogs got into a fight because they wanted the bones, so definitely even more. So one of the things we have the white pop-up tents that we used to take when we would do craft shows and craft fairs. I think I'm going to get one of those out here and just put it up, and that way, and have half of this in there and half out, because one of the things that, like, it's right now it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm not worried about them overheating at all, but that's why I have the tables in there for shade. But they're hairy dogs, so they like it cooler. So I'm gonna do that. Whoa. Yep, nope. Mom's healthy. All the dogs are healthy. I'm super excited for Thursday. So Lacey Lacey and the puppies go to the vet on Thursday. So Lacey's getting checked out. Make sure all's good with her, which she looks fine. I'm not worried about her. The puppies are getting their shots, getting wormed. Make sure that there's no underlying health issues with them that we can't see. And Beckett's going for her ultrasound to see if she's pregnant and see if we can get an idea of how many puppies she has if she is. So I'm very excited about that. And taking all that many dogs to the vet is going to be interesting anyway, but on top of the pandemic, it's going to be even more interesting. So we're either going to take 2 vehicles, or I don't know. I'm not quite sure exactly how we're going to do it yet. Yeah, because each dog has to be, obviously when you go to the vet, you don't put puppies down on the ground anyway, because they haven't had their vaccines. You know, vets do a great job cleaning in between and whatnot, but it's a high risk environment. So we're gonna have lots of people. You guys done with those bones yet? Hi, Fletch. Can you refill that water for me? Thank you, sweetheart. So Thor and Castle just got in a little tiff. like they're finishing up with their bones. Tammy says, how would you get the puppy to USA? I don't know what that means, Tammy, because they're in the USA. So maybe you can clarify for that for me, and I'll be happy to answer. Why are your dogs all right here? Normally the dogs are all over the farm. They're all hanging. Oh, you know why? Because of the bones. That's why they're all here. Duh.
Yes, when people bring them water, they're like, oh yay, it must be
I know,
special.
like they've never had one. All right.
You're bringing me special water.
What are you doing?
Going to be eating breakfast.
All right, I think they're done with their bones. So if you wanna, you wanna let them out for a few minutes while I collect them?
Huh?
I need to get the bones out of there. The big dogs are fighting because of the bones.
Let's see.
And just so you know, there's puppy poop right there. Don't step in it. Go ahead, let them out. Just don't let the big dogs in. So this is because we don't take the puppies out, we let them figure out how to get out. Let me collect their bones first. You know what? I should have counted to make sure I had all of them. What? Okay, hold on. So normally I just open the door out and let puppies out, the big dog's in, but we got bones going on. Are you sleepy, Chandler?
Hey.
Fudger, get out of the way. Those two don't usually fight. I don't know what that's all about. Uh-oh. That's our medevac. We have a hospital right there. There's the medevac. There's a medevac helicopter. Say a prayer. Everybody's going to be okay. You cannot have these bones. You would swallow them whole. I know you. Alright. Do we see any other bones lurking? Whoa.
See anything, Mom?
Open that gate again. Yeah, I need you to take this bone bucket for me. I want to make sure the puppies aren't lying on any. Don't, you know what? So just move the puppy because I have bone. Hold on. Move that puppy.
Wait.
Up, Chandler. You're lying on a bone.
Doesn't look like it.
Make sure Phoebe's not lying on one.
Where's Phoebe?
Right there. Okay?
There's the stomach. There's
Oh.
our stomach.
Someone came in.
Oh.
Okay, we got all the bones counted for?
I don't
Put that
know.
lid on. Go put them in the fridge.
No.
Lacey, you're a goofball. I just offered you. Hi, Becky. I know, all the bones are gone. Everybody was supposed to get baths today. We were gonna bathe the entire crew today, but it's only getting up to mid-70s, so we're gonna wait till Tuesday when it's hotter. Oh, I thought Butcher was staying. No, this is always fun because this is when I have to count puppies nonstop. So you can see so she's just being, she really doesn't even have any milk. I don't know what they think they're going to keep getting. She doesn't want to feed you. She doesn't have any milk. All right, Tammy says Pennsylvania. So our absolute number one preference is for the puppies to be picked up at the farm. We can meet you in person. You can meet us in person. You can we can show you a lot with the puppies. Okay, that's bad. She's gonna take off. So that is our number one way for. Okay, I don't like this. I wouldn't have let them out if I didn't. I thought Butcher was staying. Is for you to come to the farm to pick up the puppies. If that can't happen, then we can work with transport. You can get a transport company. The last case is we can fly them. If we fly them, they have to be fully crate trained. I will not put a puppy on an airplane that is not fully crate trained because I do not want to traumatize the puppy. Come here, you, Monica. I should have known it was Monica. I think Monica's got the. Come here, puppy. Mommy's gonna take off. Let mommy take off. Like I said, the dogs have full run of the farm. So puppy has to be fully crate trained. Okay. Now alright, now I'm missing the puppy. Oh dear. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, there's one. Okay. Castle, get out of there. So, or they're going back because I thought Fletcher was staying. 5 loose puppies and 5 big dogs is way too much for one person to handle. Castle, can you come out so I can go get those other puppies? So there are ways. We have one of these puppies is going to Massachusetts. So there are ways of transporting the puppy, but our preference is for you to make the road trip and come. Come here. Here, puppy. Here, puppy. Good girl, Rachel. Good girl. Oh, you're such a big girl. Oh, yes. Let's poop right by that. That's great. Okay, really? Phoebe! Lacey, come out. Castle, come out. Come on, Phoebe. There we go. Come here, Phoebes. Hi, baby. Okay. Come in. Go get mommy. No. This way. That way. That way. Oh, there we go. And we have. Okay. Well, so I never would have let them out if I had thought Fletcher was leaving, because puppies need 2 hands. And what I like about this is we have poop right there, so I'm just going to move that so the puppies don't step in it, and then I will come and clean that up later when I get up. Woo! That was a lot harder than that looked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 puppies. Okay, so that's how we transport. So preference is for you to come to the farm, meet the puppies, learn the puppies, see the mom, dad, be able to answer all your questions. Second is we can work on transport. Some of my boys can do some transporting. It costs money because you're paying for their time and their mileage, so it does cost. It's not insignificant. And then last is plane. We are willing to do that because we don't think anybody shouldn't be able to have a puppy because of distance, but they have to be completely crate trained. And obviously we would prefer if people were able to fly and pick them up, like as companion travel. That would be a preference. We have shipped goats. We have never shipped puppies on the airlines. We've always had a good experience with it. We've never had anything traumatic happen. I know there are horror stories out there, but we've never experienced anything like that. So we are willing to do that. Tammy says, what food do you recommend giving them? So I'm a big believer. We feed partially raw, not 100% raw, because quite honestly I don't have the time or the money to do my hey, get out of there. Get out. There's water in the bowl. Did you dump it again? Oh my gosh. Okay, come on. No, Castle. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna have to. That is a safety cover. It will handle their weight, but that is not meant for dogs. Okay, what was I saying? Here's your water. These guys have automatic waterers over the whole entire farm, but they're gonna sit here by me, which is the one place where we don't have automatic waterers. What food do I recommend giving them? So we feed raw. I always recommend that you feed as much raw food as you can afford. Things like raw bones, raw ground beef, raw eggs, things like that are all excellent. There you go. And then we are using a science diet with the puppies. What I am always a big believer in is don't switch. Find what you can get that you can afford, okay? Because there's always a more expensive, more organic, more something, but I'd rather see you just stick with something that you can afford, that you know your dogs will eat, than anything. So when like I said earlier, we have trouble keeping weight on our peers. We always have. And so we give them. I mean, they get everything. They don't get like food from the table, obviously. But right now, Lacey and Cagney are getting the puppy food. Actually, they really like that. So I don't recommend one brand over another. So that's how I feel about food. These puppies are all spoken for. We are taking deposits on future litters, and you can get more information at gmsdogs.com/puppy and gmsdogs.com/future. I don't have a formal application. I like to hear what you have to say, as opposed to answering the questions the way you think I want them answered. So that's why I do it that way. Yes, those were rib bones. Those specifically were short rib bones. Dee says, do you test them in the pool to see if they can swim? Nope, they do absolutely not go in. Castle, come. I'm gonna have to open that cover and close it and get that water off of there. That's why they're going in. No, they don't go in the pool. We don't do any water with them. We have a creek, but we also have snakes and snapping turtles, so no, we don't do water with them. Sue says, I would like one. Again, these are all spoken for, but you can get more information at gmsdogs.com/puppy and gmsdogs.com/future. Tammy says, how long a drive from Pennsylvania to you? Pennsylvania is a really big state, so that's hard for me to say. Probably in the 10 to 14 hour range, depending on, okay? Is that where you guys were fighting? Depending on, yes, I love you. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Depending on where, would be my guess. It takes us about 12 hours to get home to New Jersey, so I mean, I suppose it could be even, depending on how close out here you are. We're in Scottsburg, Indiana, if you want to MapQuest it or Google Maps it. Here we said put a workout. That was hard. That was kind of scary because, so Emery was putting them away last night. They were out here last night. We were all hanging out at the pool and playing last night. And Castle likes to mark everything. And Emery was putting them away, and apparently Monica took off for the garden. He had to go and find her. My outdoor kitchen is wonderful. I can't even tell you how thrilled I am with my outdoor kitchen. I am in love. Again, most of you guys who follow us for a while know that we've been in this house for 7 years. So it's been a matter of saving up and getting, piece by piece, getting it done. And that was a huge one. And I just absolutely love it. We've eaten out here almost every single night since we put it in. Leslie Ann says, do you potty train the puppies? Any tips? Okay, so the quick version of potty training for me. Number one is you have to know your puppy. You have to know what your puppy does. Your puppy's going to wake up when you're going to have to go to the bathroom. So you want to get your puppy awake, and you want to get your puppy to where the puppy has to go to the bathroom as fast as possible. When they're little, that you literally only have a couple steps. They just don't have the ability to hold it very much. So you need to set up your puppy for success, okay? Whether you are using a litter box, whether you are using the litter pellets, whether you're using sawdust, alfalfa pellets, whatever you're using, indoor puppy pads, you need to have that ready by your puppy, so your puppy is not set up for failure, okay? As your puppy continues to get older, you have more time for the puppy to get outside on its own. Now, that being said, when your puppy wakes up, you can pick your puppy up and carry your puppy outside, because your puppy usually doesn't, if you're carrying them, usually won't go to the bathroom while you're carrying them. Sometimes if it's like really tired, you might. And do that. If you are training to a certain spot outside, always make sure you take them to the same spot. If you are using something indoor for them to go to the bathroom on, try and use the same substrate, the same item outdoors, so they know that that's the area to go to the bathroom in. But understand that when your puppy goes to the bathroom indoor, they're not punishing you, they're not being bad, they just really have to go to the bathroom. So it's all about setting your puppy up for success and rewarding that success, and not, I don't even acknowledge to them, you know, that they're went in the wrong spot. Like, one of the things that's hard to do is you're like, you freak out and you try and grab them and get them outside, especially if they're on a carpet or something, which is another thing. If you have a puppy, you shouldn't have carpets down, right? Your puppy shouldn't be allowed on the carpet until the puppy is potty trained, because you're going to overreact if the puppy goes on the carpet, and the puppy will sense that. So yeah, set your puppy up for success is the way to do that. We're a big believer in having indoor, not necessarily this fence, this one's pretty tall, but a gated area on flooring with a crate, with a puppy potty area, food, water, and some play toys in your house while your puppy is training. Yes, puppies are available in order of the deposits, Carol. So Tani says, I have a 4-month-old boxer mix. Do you recommend feeding him raw beef and any eggs? I believe in raw food. Now, that being said, I know where my food comes from, okay? So I know the eggs are healthy raw. I know that the beef is healthy raw. So make sure that you're sourcing good food. But Google, I don't want to be the one to tell you what to do, because I am not a vet. I am not a nutritionist. I am not anything. I can just tell you where we've come down on it. And so if it were me and I had a 4-month, I would be. Cagney and Lacey will get 4 to 6 raw eggs a day when we're on top of it. Sometimes we get distracted and don't, but Rhonda says, how hot is it there? It's probably about 74 right now. It's probably about 74 degrees right now. Aw, thanks, Betty. She said it was such fun watching my dream come true. Rhonda says, are they going to be collar and leash trained by walking? So the short answer to that is no. I will not have these puppies long enough for them to be leash trained properly. They're puppies, and they're just too young for that. That being said, we will be working on clicker training for them to sit, for them to start working on heel without a leash, for them to just know that that's the position, and they get clicked and rewarded for that position. They're only going to be 8 to 10 weeks old when they leave the farm, so they will not fully get it and fully be fully have it by the time they leave here. that's something they just need to be a little bit older for that. Jan says, what's the website for the puppies? It's GMS, which is goat milk stuff. That's our farm. GMS Dogs, plural. GMSdogs.com. And then there's a puppy and the future litter to get that information. Yes, we have lots of chickens. Bonnie, these puppies are all spoken for. We are taking deposits on future litters. We have Beckett is going to the ultrasound to the vet for an ultrasound this Thursday. Her puppies, however, will be full Bernese Mountain Dog. They'll be AKC registered Bernese Mountain Dog if she is indeed pregnant. And then we're hoping Cagney comes into heat in July. She came into heat in January, and so we're hoping she gets pregnant in July, which would be September babies, able to go home in November. So, but that's all on the website as well. No, we'll put collars on them. We will put collars on them. We'll put them on, take them off, that kind of thing. But not leash training. That's too much. All right. Well, I am caught up on my comments. These guys are napping. Thor has decided to be my buddy. Thor needs a good brushing. We're behind on brushing Thor, aren't we? Thor is probably the one who roams the most around the farm, so the females in Castle tend to stick closer by me, so they tend to get groomed more, don't they, buddy? Look at your tail. Your tail is a disgrace. Your tail needs to be brushed. We'll take care of that this week. All right, say goodbye, puppies. You guys all have a wonderful, restful Sunday, and and I will talk to you soon. I have one more comment there we go. Hey.